Hello and welcome everyone to yet another stunning, riveting, soul-searching episode of Resubbed with Subtitles, a show about three friends living in different places, talking about the stuff they want to watch on TV and what have you. My name is Raymond. Today is June 12th, 2021. Beautiful day. Going in order of my Zoom. Hold on, my Zoom meeting. I'm going to go to the person to the side of me. That would be Miss Michelle True. How are we standing in front of the timekeepers?
I swear I have the same answer for you every time. But I have a reason, but I'm tired right now. I'm good.
Does time work differently in your household? And that's why
it definitely does. I wasn't gaming all night, so that's not why I'm tired. But we just got back from our Southern California trip. So
hey.
Disneyland and California Adventure.
And you mentioned that they changed the Loki statue, right? In Disneyland and California.
They did. So Loki initially was dressed as the typical, with the green and the gold on his horns. But now he's dressed in the TVA jumpsuit with the collar. And he has two timekeepers, the hunters or whatever, following him around. It's pretty cool. Awesome. I did not take a picture with him because we were not in the greatest mood there, but we did see him. He saw me with my horns, and he did mention, he pointed at me and he said something, and we kind of laughed because he walked by us while we were eating. But we were just like, oh,
cool. Wait, there was a Loki?
That's Loki, yeah. Not a statue.
Cool. I thought it was Loki. A statue. I didn't know it was a person. Oh, dude.
It's the character.
Oh, kind of like I remember.
So when they first came out, when the Avengers campus first opened, he was wearing his green and gold with the horns.
Okay.
But then now he's in his jumpsuit.
Okay, and he's accompanied by security guard. Oh, that's excellent. Come on, that's really cool.
We thought it was cool, but again, we weren't really happy with the situation, so we were just like, let's just come back like a year or whatever, in a year or something.
When they get their crap together.
That's another conversation. Yeah, they're just not. Disney's definitely lying when it comes to their capacity. They are not low capacity, among other things, but we'll get to that some other time.
And down below me, well, not below me, but I don't know, digitally, digitally, a tier below, but higher in quality than anybody else I know. Mr. Eric from San Diego, how are you? And is time moving differently in your household?
Just slightly. Still on that newborn schedule. Well, she's 2 months now, but
how's that going?
Yeah, time definitely moves in weird ways in this household. But we're doing good. There's an excessive heat warning in effect in San Diego. I'm sure that means nothing to you guys in Sacramento.
Ooh, good thing we were supposed to be there today.
Really?
Yeah, we were supposed.
Plan? Was that the original plan? Was
the original plan, but my foot's messed up, so we decided to go home.
Well, it doesn't start till Tuesday. But
oh, good. Okay, but still, that's crazy. Yeah.
I'm actually going to be there later this week. So I'm flying down Thursday night with the kids. And then Ashley is going to be driving down with her friend. Funny enough, her friend's coming up for a couple of days, and they're going to both drive down together a few days after that to meet us there. So
I think you'll just be missing this thing then, because I think it's supposed to end on Thursday.
Ooh, yay. Thank you. Thankfully.
But it'll still be kind of hot, but not Sacramento hot. So, but other than that, everything's good on this end.
Welcome to the California Weather Report here on YouTube Subtitles. No, we're here to talk about. We got a new show to talk about, folks, and we already spoiled it a bit, but we're talking Loki on Disney Plus, which just came out, and I think of the three that they announced, Loki, WandaVision, and Falcon Winter Soldier, I think I was most excited for Loki. And they finally had its debut. 6 episodes this season. Yeah, had its cotillion.
I was thinking the same thing.
Little
18th birthday party.
all y'all Filipinos out there, you know what I'm talking about. Had his debut. It got spoiled actually. I think I forgot where in some interview not too long ago by the actor that plays Phil Coulson. That there's already a season 2 that's already.
Hello.
So this is going to be not just a miniseries, but they're going to be maybe slightly ongoing with Loki. But it had its great debut. I thought it was great. I'm gonna pass it to you guys. I don't know how you guys want to round robin kind of overall on first episodes, or how you guys want to play it.
We can also do like our speculation. I don't know, like kind of guess at. I was telling Raymond, well, you weren't on yet, Eric, but obviously we're not friends on Instagram, you and I, but
Not yet.
I posted a picture of myself with my Loki ears. And this was before I said, oh, I'm, I forget what I said. It said something about going to Avengers campus as Lady Loki. First of all, I had no idea that Lady Loki existed.
There's actual characters.
Oh.
She exists. It's in the comic. She is a real thing. She's a real person. She's actually in Loki.
The show.
In the show.
She's going to be in the show.
We don't know in what capacity, like we don't know for sure if she's the villain. We just know that she's in it. I think it's her, but whatever. Anyways, I thought it was interesting that I posted this picture and I said I was Lady Loki, and then here we have a Lady Loki that will be in the series. That's my little
Question.
story of
Is Lady Loki actually Mephisto?
Okay, so
I'm just kidding.
It always comes back to Mephisto.
I did initially
Mephisto, baby.
when I saw that scene when they were in France, right? It was in France.
In France.
I thought that at first, but then I was like, well, no, he has the horns. So it could also be Loki or another version of Loki. I don't think it's Mephisto. We guessed wrong last time. So I'm not going to go with Mephisto this time.
You know what's interesting? You mentioned the Lady Loki character that may or may not. I think it's kind of like a not a well-kept secret that there is going to be a Lady Loki character in the show. I'm looking at the IMDb, and you see everybody's character names next to them. Tom Hiddleston's Loki, Owen Wilson's Mobius, blah blah blah. But there's 3 characters or 3 actors four actors who very clearly don't have a name.
Right, because I think there's like an older version of Loki that might show up in this one too.
Right.
I think. I don't know.
I'm kind of hoping it's like Tommy Wiseau from The Room. For some reason, when I see Loki with long hair,
let's not get into that.
He does look like Tommy Wiseau
Right?
A little bit.
If he played an old version of Loki, I would love that. That'd be fantastic.
I did not watch that, and I refuse to watch that movie.
Not to derail our conversation, but I do want to frame this a little bit so that we're not kind of scattershot. But let's start with Tom Hiddleston as Loki, anchoring this whole thing. First of all, Tom Hiddleston on the range of great actor or greatest actor. Go ahead, Eric.
Greater actor.
Yeah.
He's greater than great. He's not my greatest actor yet, but amazing.
Damn charming, isn't he? Like
he's definitely.
Damn him and his charm.
It's like the DB Cooper scene.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
And how he kind of hands her that piece of paper and she thinks it's like his number or something because she's like, oh, and he's like, do me a favor and read that.
Like he's being all flirty, but at the same time.
Yeah. And he's like winking at her. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I think he's great.
That DB Cooper scene, I think, was such a standout scene for me. Like it was, and I love Tom Hiddleston. He's getting older, right? Like when you saw remember because they open up the show cutting back flashback to the original Avengers, like towards the end, the conclusion of their battle after he's
some of it, I think a couple of them were reshot.
And then reshot, but then you could tell a big difference between the the 2012 footage and then the reshot footage because whoa, he's like his own uncle. Like he's his own uncle in these shots. But
it just sucks because he's supposed to be his younger version of himself.
Yeah, he's
but
not
clearly older.
the he's not the nicer one that made amends with his brother. It's the one that was a jackass.
And
yeah,
I thought the DB Cooper scene was so good because they really captured the essence of the I guess the dual nature that is Loki, right? He's on the one hand a jerk, an evil person. He's fronts that he needs to kill people in order to get his way, right? Like the illusion of power, the illusion of control, that whole speech that he gave to Owen Wilson about what they were. He's actually talking about himself, right? Like he was talking crap about the TVA, talking about this is all like blah blah blah, illusion of power and blah blah blah, and he's actually just speaking to himself. And then you get the other half, the mischief god, the god that's actually cool, fun little brother to Thor, on a bet, goes to Earth and stages this whole prank, and that's all it was a harmless prank, really, when it comes down to it. Nobody got hurt. Nobody was like put out. It was just one of those. It was a true hoax that keeps people like, what the hell just happened? Like, guy just jumps out of the window, he disappears. And then by bringing those together is like, and then you have Tom Hiddleston just convincingly encompassing it all, right? And how about that heartbreaking watching memories that didn't happen, right?
Well, that did happen, but
not to him.
Not to him, because he skipped that part.
But still, him
alternate version of him.
The emotion,
it, right? Yeah,
and the music. I don't know
Michelle,
if you know the story.
How big is your crush on Tom Hiddleston, please? Is as big as mine?
No, I'm not. He's not. I like him.
Yeah,
I don't think he's one of my crushes.
Who's the guy that you texted? Sorry to derail the picture. Jake something Eccleston?
Who? Oh yes, that's fine.
Who's on The Boys now?
Have you seen Supernaturals?
No. This is CW, right?
Are you serious? They have like 12 or 14 or I don't know how many seasons. They've been around for a really long time.
I've never seen an episode.
Well, that's just dumb. But you guys like yeah.
We're not talking about it.
Long. It's way too long. Too many
Supernaturals. I know, it's crazy. Listen, I had surgery I think my third surgery or something, and I was bedridden, right? So I wanted to watch something, and I saw Supernaturals, and I thought that he was cute, so I was like, all right, let me just watch it. And I just binge watched the whole thing until like the last
Ian Somerhalder.
Oh, Ian Somerhalder. Yeah.
Okay.
That guy's hot.
So I'm thinking
too.
of the right show. I just want to make sure. And then
no, Ian is not in that show.
Oh, he's not in that show.
No.
What am I thinking of?
Ian is in the Vampire Diaries with Paul Wesley, and I like those two as well.
Didn't see that
one. Okay, let me get this. Let me just.
So there's the Vampire Diaries, and there's the Supernatural.
So Michelle's hot buttons are
not Loki.
Horror-ish, right? A little bit of horror, fantasy.
Kind of Thor, but not really. I prefer like Captain America.
Set in the real world.
I mean, Robert has green eyes. So
isn't it pairs of hot guys in this case? So it's like there's the brothers in Vampire Diaries.
They're
right?
brothers, yep. And then in Supernatural, they're also brothers.
Is the dad in Supernatural the guy from The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Okay, so it's that show. Okay.
That show.
All right. I have a passing familiarity. Anyways, you texted us the other day and you were very excited.
The Boys, yes. So I'm gonna watch The Boys. But I will start with season 1 first, obviously.
It's so dense, man. Like the story is so good. I can't wait for you to watch The Boys, my friend.
I will. But back to Loki. No, I think he's a great actor. He clearly has the range, right? Like with that scene being emotional, watching his stepmom. I mean, his mother, not stepmom. Let's just say mom. Watching his mom die, watching his dad pass on because he didn't see that either, and then watching himself like make amends with his brother and then dying in front of his brother. It's like intense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how else would you feel? And yeah, I think he's a great actor. I don't know if he's like Eric said, I don't think he's the greatest actor, but I think he's a great actor.
I think he's gonna be like one of those when we are older, like the three of us are just like gray already, and our kids are goes like, oh, he's gonna be one of those guys that we look up like like the same way that older actors look at like I don't know, like Christopher Walken or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they're held in a good regard. Not that there's a 1-to-1, but it's just one of those guys that just puts in so much good character work over time, and he genuinely seems like a nice guy. He did.
You can't be that charming without being a nice guy, right?
Yeah,
it seems like it comes from
super
him.
cool. And he
was in Skull Island.
Oh yeah, is he in the Godzilla King Kong movie?
No,
he's not. Okay,
just Skull Island.
Okay, but he did a funny impression of Owen Wilson. He did an impression. He was asked in an interview to do an impression of Owen Wilson if Owen Wilson was playing Loki. And it was really, and he nails it. It's really funny. I gotta send it to you guys. Speaking of, I was really happy to see Owen Wilson again. And it was like having an old friend come by and hang out, especially, dude, Eric, come on. Owen Wilson was in like everything early 2000s when we were all young and hot and going out. He was the funny guy. He's Hansel. Still hot right now.
Hansel. He's in Wedding Crashers, which I still love.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers was one of our favorites, or is still.
The kids love him as Lightning McQueen, but this show is so, it's so out there, the concept, but you bring in Owen Wilson, who's got that just earthy, like he's just the dude that you hang out with, right? Like at work, he's the nice guy. You set it in a setting that's boring bureaucracy. You got Eugene Cordero as the front desk guy.
Oh God,
the
I
Filipino
laughed so
guy that's
hard
in
when
everything.
I saw him. That's what we said. He's in everything. I was like, dude, I started cracking up when I saw him. I was like, oh my God, and it's him.
That guy's getting work.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, I'm hooked on this show. Yeah. If Pillboy's in it, I'm there.
What's a fish?
Yeah. What's a fish? Dude, he represents every time I see him. But like it's such a good concept. It's like these you're dealing with these beings that are apparently greater than all the gods put together because they control the time stream and they can pull people out, push people in. They have omnipotent power, more power than we've ever seen in the entire MCU, to the point where they have random infinity gems in their evidence, like just strewn about like it's nothing. That was, to me, one of the funnest like bits there to give you the scale of what we're dealing with. But
some of the guys use them as paperweights. Yeah. Or not, I was like, oh, that's where we're at with this. Like, it took me a second to figure out how powerful everybody, or essentially the scale of people's power in this show. And it's a good way to set it up, especially when Loki was asking for the Tesseract and he's like, that sounds dumb.
Yeah.
That cracked me up.
Yeah, and I like how they're just pushing past phase 1 or whatever we call the Infinity Gauntlet saga, whatever that part of the MCU. It's like, nope, we are now.
But it's crazy though when you think about that and what they talk about, how they talk about the timeline. It was supposed to happen.
Mystery, yeah.
All of these things that are happening they're supposed to happen.
They're blatant. Messing with the timelines was apparently part of this greater thing. You would think it's like opposite of what they're doing, but then you get this thing where Loki was always supposed to be in his place, right? And that's where that trips me out. Is like,
well, that's why it's kind of sad for him because that's why he said he can't go back. Because that's kind of heartbreaking, right? Just a little bit. Just like
it does make, so the mystery of all this is that because there's always a mystery, is that there's somebody going around setting ambushes basically for these so there's to back up a little bit, Loki's dealing with essentially time cops. Their job is to make sure that things are aligned up with this plan, that this plan is dictated by those three beings, the space lizards, as they're called by Loki, that are behind Michelle, if you're watching the video. They apparently are the masters of time or whatever. Are they calling them the timekeepers? I forgot what the name exactly was. Timekeepers.
The timekeepers.
We don't know where they're from or how powerful they are, or who put them in their job, but apparently they're taking upon themselves to say this is the thing. Oh, and how about that great animation that explains the setup of the TVA? Like it's an old 50s like educational video. Anywho, so these timekeepers are trying to keep the timeline straight. Somebody is going around to different eras, apparently of Earth history, it seems like, and setting up ambushes for the different squads that are out there to reset the timelines and killing them, which is, as you can see, with all their power, is, you would think it's hard to do, but somebody's handling them really well, like in kind of in brutal fashion, is murdering them. We get
they're this variant is what they call them, right? Is murdering the time, I guess you called them time cops, but there is a name for them, I think, right?
Yeah, there is a name. Minutemen.
Minutemen, yeah.
Minutemen.
But funny that in the comics it's not the same. They just kind of happen to just put them all in together, like blend them together. But that this person is actually stealing those grenades.
Who?
This variant is stealing those time grenades.
Oh, to reset, because that's right. And so the time cops, I should mention, have this cool grenade.
So he or she. There's a reason why I say she, but he or she is killing the time cops or the Minutemen and taking the reset grenades from them. And that has potentially dramatic effects because they can go at any time in history and lay those bombs off and then reset everything. Or I don't know exactly how those bombs have a
work,
theory,
but they reset stuff, right? Or
it just resets. So whenever something happens within that timeline, it just resets it to go, so it goes back to that level,
whatever the event or something that may or may not have happened.
It kind of erases it. So I have a theory. My theory is, and I'm going to go back to WandaVision when I talked about what's his face being a bad guy.
Haywood.
Still
salty about that. Boring. Most boring bad guy ever.
Yeah. I think the timekeepers are actually not. I don't think this is a good thing. I think this is a totalitarian, like these people are trying to control the universe. And I think that this variant that's killing these Minutemen might be Lady Loki, but it could be for a good purpose.
Yeah, I'm there with you. We do find out at the end that the variant that they're chasing is actually Loki. And so Owen Wilson is basically saves Loki from, I guess, deletion or whatever his ultimate fate
sending him back. Yeah.
So they need his help to catch him, which makes all their conversations in the beginning very interesting now, because throughout Owen Wilson, humorously, is like he's kind of interrogating him, but he's really just wanting to get into his head to figure out what his motivations are. How do you go from the God of Mischief to this killer that's out there that he's trying to hunt? So in a lot of ways, he's doing like reverse detective work with the actual person who may or may not have done these roles yet. Can I throw a this is not gonna happen. This is in my head, but I'm just gonna tell you right now. So in the little educational video, they mention a multiversal. So the multiverse went into war. This is why the timekeepers, I guess, get into power. They went to war, and it was just screwing up all of reality, and all of existence was at threat of being destroyed. So the timekeepers came in and said, nope, this is the timeline. This is what you got to do. We keep everything straight. All you multiverses, get in line. We're ordering all this up. Blah, blah, blah. What if that multiversal war hasn't happened yet? Because time works differently. Ooh, and maybe it's the actions of Loki here trying to catch his own variant that is actually what's causing the multiversal war, and then you get the Doctor Strange, and then you get the
then you have Wanda.
There's another movie past Doctor Strange that oh my god, hold on. Anywho,
I think Kang. So they mentioned Kang too, right? I don't know if you. So yeah. Well, okay. So one of the three timekeepers, the middle one, looks like Kang, one of the Marvel villains, Kang the Conqueror. And Kang shows up in Ant-Man and Wasp, the quantum something or other. I think that's the movie after Marvel Multiverse of Madness.
Correct. So
this is why I think
that
yes, I think these three here are actually villains.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And I don't know, I'm kind of pretty excited. I can't wait till Wednesday just to see. I think it's cool though, because then you see Loki in a whole other, like, he wears a suit.
Yeah. The future, and he's got those little politician thing, like little in my background right here. There you go.
No, not that one. He wears a suit just like Mobius.
Oh, that's right, like an agent suit.
Yeah,
that's right.
And it has like a little patch or something on him.
Eric, any thoughts about what you think is going to happen here? Risk your reputation?
I'm just kind of curious to see where everything goes. I mean, I have my weird speculations, but not. I think they went a little off the rails during WandaVision, so I'm trying not to go too far.
Right.
And I just kind of want to.
Now I know. I'm just like, all right, well, no Mephisto, huh? Well, then never mind.
But then Owen Wilson did mention he was like, there is a nightmare part of the TBA section, and then it was just a quick blip, and so like I wanted to jump in all on that, where okay, maybe it's
you're like, ooh,
nightmare Mephisto or something. Then I'm like, maybe
no, don't do it.
They
I don't want to go down
stained glass though, right?
No,
that's
even
stained glass.
No, I mean,
I know
even
it's
though
not.
I think they do this on purpose, they throw you off because they don't want you to guess what's happening, right? It's like,
yeah, I don't want to hark on every little thing.
Don't.
Nope.
We did for WandaVision.
I've learned my lesson with Haywood and Quicksilver. Never again will I like hope for the hopes.
I'm pretty sure I was right that whole time. Pretty sure.
I'm saying though, I was just like let down. But I am curious to see how this all unfolds. I think it can go anywhere. I was something I read in an article. It's not like, I think they're trying to go for an approach where every episode is almost like its own little short story, because time works differently, right? So you're not going to see it's like, well, the next episode picks up right where he is like, okay, well, we just talked about like what's happening, what's going on now, kind of thing. It's like a certain amount of time is supposed to pass, and then you see like, they'll pick up where they pick up on. So we'll see the development of Loki as they go on.
Oh, baby's crying.
You guys can hear that? No, man.
I cannot.
This microphone.
This
microphone is picking up. She's in the other
room. Did you notice the colors?
Kind of. I noticed a lot of brown. I mean that
orange,
that timekeeper brown. You know what I mean?
Orange. So like the baton. So there's orange and purple, right? The orange sends them back into their original timeline. Remember that the kid in the beginning? Yeah, I'm not taking a ticket.
Was he anybody we've seen before? No. I feel like he's somewhat familiar.
I don't think so.
Or are we just used to jerks now? Like
I think so.
I know him from 30 Rock. I think he was like Liz Lemon's lawyer, but he looked like a child. That's the only place I've seen.
He looks super young, huh?
Yeah.
He kind of reminded me at first of Doogie Howser's best friend.
Boner? No, that's no. That's
oh my God, Raymond, you and your
Vincent Del Pino. That's it.
I think Raymond, are you okay over there?
I'm just saying, Vincent Del Pino, I think is what you're talking about. From
didn't he look like him, or doesn't he look like him, like an older version, but still looks young?
Vincent has got to be old at this point.
Yeah,
dude.
for sure.
Uncle Vinny, no hair.
But then there's the purple, right? There's the purple on the baton that did that effect in the beginning that cracked me up when she hit Loki. And
That was
he
the
was like
technical.
in slow motion, but he was feeling all the pain,
Awesome.
like drawn out. Oh my God, that scene was hilarious.
I like the actress who plays her.
Yeah.
She's
What's her
B15
name?
Hunter B15 Wunmi
Yeah.
Masaku. I had not seen her and previously, but apparently she's in
She's in Black Mirror. She's in
which
Black
episode?
Mirror. She does this thing where she's actually God, what's Kurt Russell's son's name again? I totally forgot.
Oh, she's
She's
the
the one
video
that tortures
game.
him.
the video game.
Yeah,
episode,
like
or
wears
the
like a
horror episode.
yeah.
Playtest.
And she tortures him in like time, like slow time. I forget what it was. But-
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
There's
That's
also
what she's-
Gugu Mbatha Raw, who plays the judge. She was also in Black Mirror, my favorite Black Mirror episode. That's actually positive. Like
Apparently her character is in cahoots with Kang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, okay, let's see where this
she
takes
actually-
us, because
She actually has like a legit name of. I didn't know it. In the show, it was Ravana Renslayer.
yeah, she has a
I thought it would be
I think
something like-
she is a character in the comics.
I thought it would be something like bureaucratic sounding. You know what I mean? Like Judge number
She has a
138
like
or
a
something.
name. Yeah.
That's interesting. So
But
she's
yeah,
not-
like apparently Richard Grant is supposed to be an older version of Loki.
Richard Grant? Really? Let me see.
Richard E. Grant. He's one of the ones that's not labeled.
Oh. I love Richard E. Grant. This guy is one of those guys that are in everything. You've seen
Yeah.
his face before because he's literally in everything. But I tend to watch. Do you guys ever watch Dracula? Bram Stoker's Dracula? The one with
Yes.
Keanu.
Yeah.
I watch that like every 2 years or around Halloween time. It's one of my favorite like guilty pleasure movies because it's not great, but it's weird great, and I just freaking love it. Did we ever watch that together, Eric? Just sit around and watch Dracula with Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder?
Don't possibly. I don't really
Wow.
recall that movie too much though.
But there's three dudes that accompany Anthony Hopkins and Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves' accent is horrible.
Yeah.
But he gets a pass because he's Keanu.
Mhm.
But Richard E. Grant is one of the three dudes that are in it. Also, Cary Elwes and the guy who played the Rocketeer, the American. He played an American. What is his name? Billy something, or I forgot his name. But yeah, those guys are like the it's, you know what I mean, of the time. Like those are like,
Yeah,
oh,
I had a
damn.
crush on the Rocketeer too when I
Yeah.
was younger.
Like if they did
Yeah.
the MCU back in the like late 90s, early 2000s, they would be like the guys that were like, oh damn, like
Dracula's Avengers
Yeah.
right there. That super team.
yeah, Richard E. Grant is cool. I like him a lot. Anywho, yeah. Any parting thoughts on episode 1, Loki? I'm excited. I like it. I'm more on board with this than I am with Falcon Winter Soldier, as much as I like that show too. And so I just like they can do anything, any kind of story here because it's just so crazy.
You didn't mention, are they called the Skrulls?
The aliens?
There was just
Do you
one
remember
of them.
there was one in the office when he walked in?
Mhm.
Oh.
And then there
You're
was
right.
the Agent Carter lookalike.
I didn't catch that.
No? Go back and watch
I'm
it.
watching it again. Thanks,
There
Michelle.
was
Appreciate it.
so you know when he escaped? He ends up in the office or something. And once he shows up in this office, one of the time doors opens up and there's a Minuteman with an Agent Carter lookalike walking through. Like she looked exactly like her.
Okay.
And if you remember, Captain America and her, they kind of messed with the timeline, didn't they, a little bit? When he went back
Yep.
to return
Yes.
all the
Yep.
and then he went back to live with her, and it was like a happily ever after kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He might have gotten a ticket. He might have earned a ticket from the time cop. A little slap on the wrist there.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
really
watch
like-
it. She shows up like it's like right when he shows up, she comes out. It's like a really quick scene, and I was like, "What? Who is?" Yeah, you gotta rewatch it.
And we're back. Anywho, that was our discussion of Loki. Tune in next time because we're going to be covering episode 2. But moving on a bit, something I finished because I'm on a I'm on like an animated series like binge right now. I finished season 4. I spoke about Invincible last week, but I did also finish season 4 of Castlevania on Netflix. It ended up being really good, as it turned out. So, have you ever seen Castlevania, Michelle? I think that one's right up your alley.
Not yet. I mean, we haven't been home all week.
Oh,
so
I
I haven't. Yeah.
So 4 seasons, and this 4th season was it. So now it's a complete
It
story.
sounds familiar though.
Yeah. Castlevania, Michelle?
No, the anime. I know it.
Oh,
Is it?
I was like, have you not heard of Castlevania?
Netflix
No,
original.
I have.
Of course. Netflix original, great voice actors in that one. But it's, I was going to say, 4th season, it's now the series is complete. It started off slower in the beginning, and I really, after watching, so I was following this whole series as it went along, and it's great because it's anime style, but it's definitely Western, like storytelling kind of thing. Plus, it's set in Castlevania, which is really awesome. And what's one of the cool things that they do is that they really deep dive into Castlevania lore. Like, I don't even know half the things, but it's just when I was started to kind of like go back and like just kind of look at the character names, like, oh, they actually appeared in previous classic like Nintendo, Super Nintendo games. These characters that were like one-off people in the background, they fleshed them out and made them into actual characters. So one guy, you remember the Saint Germain guy, Eric?
Oh yeah.
Played by Bill Nye, who I love.
Oh yeah, last season. Right?
He apparently Saint Germain appears in a previous game. I was like, oh, I thought he was just like some made up dude. You know what I mean? Just for the conventions that he's in the games. Anywho,
that's cool.
Wow, they have a lot of.
Oh, dude,
their cast is pretty.
These are like
stacked
A-listers too. Like, and the voice acting is really good. But the animation style is super. I don't know if it's actually Japanese studio that does it, but it's certainly anime inspired for sure. The storyline, I really think the storyline and the storytelling is what brings that whole series to life, because it's not your typical. I mean, it has, don't get me wrong, awesome action scenes, monsters getting slayed. It's violent. People get, heads cut off, all that sorts of things. But it's really wordy, and there's a lot of dialogue, and a lot of it is not so much trying to, move the plot along, but they talk about certain philosophical like ideas that just, and conversationally too. One character, so there's just not to get too in the weeds here, but there's basically some of the villains are these 3 set of vampire sisters, right? They control this vampire nation, and they're talking about expanding like in their ideas for it. And then 2 of them are having like misgivings about the plan, because they're like, what's the end game here? Are we going to take over the world? And then once we take over the world, what are we going to do? We're just going to be like basically for the rest of our existence just managing this freaking enormous kingdom. And for what? Like, what? We're vampires. We don't build anything. We just consume. And what's the world going to look like if that's just what we do? Whereas the humans, they're the ones that advance. They advance technology. They go on, they live their lives, they move things along, and then they have, because of their short lifespans. But vampires by nature because they're immortal, they don't like to create anything. They just sort of, and it's like you have these really interesting philosophical ideas of things are going on. Like, yeah, what is the point of a villain? Kind of like in Loki, right? They asked them, it's like, all right, you want to take over Midgard, then what? Take over Asgard, then what?
Space Guard.
At what point do you just like, what is the point besides the desire to take over a place? What are you going to do with it? and is it real? And I really ask myself a question. I apply it to real world standards. Like, okay, if you're a billionaire and you're doing all you can to, by the way, billionaires don't pay taxes. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they don't. If you're a billionaire and you're doing everything you can to amass
have you heard
wealth, massive wealth, wealth beyond anybody's means and generations. To what end? What do you do with all of it when you have everything? I don't know. Anyways, Castlevania started off a little bit on the slower side for season 4. Dude, how far did you get along? I know you were watching it, right?
I'm probably on episode 4. I think I finished 3. It's just we've been caught up with stuff,
of course,
with this thing.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on finishing sometime soon because it's not that long, right? It's only
isn't
8 or 10.
And I think once you hit like episode 4 or 5, that's when it starts to take off. There's a pivotal scene. So there's some side characters, the Forge Masters, Isaac and Hector. Isaac is the shit, by the way. He heals the show. And so there's a character here. He started off as Dracula's assistant. His power is that he creates these night creatures out of the bodies of dead slain humans, and he's got this cool power, and he's just got this amazing arc. He goes from this like very typical stereotypical bad guy to something of a hero at the end. Not to give anything away, but his whole thing is just they do him so good. Oh, they do this guy so good.
I think I saw the speech of like when one of the night creatures was talking to him about like, what do we do? Like, we don't do this. Like, and then I kind of started to see shades of probably where it's gonna go. And I was like, oh, okay. Like he's kind of coming into his own, like doing his own thing, which is kind of cool.
Again, you're referencing like one of the bigger philosophical questions, because that discussion, it's a quiet scene. He's literally this guy is literally having a conversation with one of his demon creations, a dude that looks like a fly, and he's a monster, but he's like a well-spoken. He's like, Master, what are we doing here? We're meant for killing and eating, and we're sitting here rebuilding this town, burying the bodies. And he's like, this is against our nature. And he's like, well, what is your nature, really? Right? Like, and what does it mean to be like? Are you just a tool? Did you just become into existence just to be a tool for something or some other force, or are you your own person? Right? And I was like, wow, what kind of questions? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you didn't see that coming from this anime,
right? These questions of the audience. And I think that's what really sets it apart, is that it's so weird and it's kind of like out there, but it's grounded in cool action. Anywho, and there's a funny. I just want to say this one last bit about it because it's great. But early on, there's a scene where sometimes the animation can get janky in the series for whatever reason. Like, some episodes have more budget than the other, and you could tell. And it's like, did you get to the point where the vampire general lady put on her daytime armor and then started like and defended her attack from like villagers or something like that?
I don't think so. Not yet.
That scene is janky AF.
That's what
I was like, what? Like, this whole scene would have been much more awesome if they spent some more money to make it slick, but it looked like just rough. Like, what is going on here, right? Because and then I was like, they do like a climactic battle scene in the middle of the series, and then obviously the end where they wrap everything up is this amazing battle sequence. Like, oh, that's where all their money went. Because they are incredible sequences, like really, really well done. So anyways, Castlevania, Michelle, please put that on your watch list. You're going to enjoy it. They have,
I have time.
Really good, you know what they really excel at? Because you are of the female variety of this show, women characters on Castlevania are fantastic. They're all badass. Starting with Dracula's wife, a human woman, Lisa, and he falls in love with her, and then they have a son, their Dampier son, Alucard. Anyways, and then all the vampire sisters I mentioned, all the women in that series are not just like victims or stereotypical. They all have like really good motivations behind them. So,
Eric, what was Trevor Beaumont's the girl that
Sifa.
That Sifa is dope.
Sifa Belnades is her voice acting is so charming. Like the lady Alejandra Reynosa. I don't know where she
She's
is, or if she just does voice work, but you need to have her doing more stuff because she is so incredibly likable just from her voice alone. You got all these dour men who are all like all serious and like
her voice is in Dota 2.
The what?
She does VO for Dota 2, or she did.
She's great, man. Like
for Dota.
And like her character is like is more intriguing than Trevor Beaumont, like the main character in the show. Like,
yeah,
I kind of want to see more of like her backstory and like
she definitely steals all this. She's like so likable as a person. Like, oh my god, and she's badass, dude. She's a mage.
Badass.
Eric, I spoke about Invincible last week. Somehow Michelle forgot about that entire conversation.
Someone didn't do their homework, apparently.
But you caught on. Yeah, tell me about it. Did you get Invincible?
I'm almost there. I mean, I'm watching the show definitely, but I've been kind of running out of time. I think I'm on episode 3.
They're long. That's the thing. It's like the Invincible episodes are like the boys episodes. They go a while.
Yeah. I always just get shocked by like, it's a lot of story for a good 30 out of the 45 minutes. And then that last 15 minutes, I'm just like, what is happening? Like, I can't wait to see what happens next. But then it just, again, it like picks up. And then I'm like, oh man, it's more story. And then like, just climax is crazy.
Yeah. See, even the baby knows the payoff is so much worth it. I can't talk more about it, Michelle, because I want you to watch this freaking show, and I don't want to spoil it because it's going to. I just need you to know that it's going to be like, what is happening? You're going to have that, like,
yeah,
you're going to have that reaction. What is happening? And you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. But I need to know. I have to know, Michelle, how this is going to.
Maybe.
I'm curious.
I'll try to do it this weekend.
Anywho. That's our recommendations for all you guys. So Loki, yes. Castlevania, please watch it. Invincible, you gotta watch it. The Boys, which I don't know. What did they say when The Boys are coming out with their new season?
I don't know. I don't know if it's. I just saw that picture and.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're coming out of COVID now.
Season 3, right?
Not everything's coming out. Season 3.
Did you see the trailer for Witcher?
Witcher?
Yeah, there's a trailer.
Oh, yes. We're behind. I'm
I don't see release. I don't know. It doesn't say. But yeah, Witcher 3 came out with a trailer. My cousin sent it to me when we were in Disneyland.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of Disney and speaking of animation, Michelle, you watched Raya and the Last Dragon?
I did.
What'd you think?
Oh, so The Boys season 3 release date's in 2022, I guess.
Oh.
It was this year still.
Damn. All right. Well,
that's what it said. I don't know. Raya and the Last Dragon. I thought that Awkwafina took the I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it wasn't for her, I probably would not like the movie.
Really? Wow. I like the action in the movie. Like the fight scenes were.
The fight scenes were great. I thought the story was interesting, but she was. I don't know. She just kind of kept me going like throughout the whole movie because she was funny.
Really did nail that.
She's great.
Character. Like
yeah.
I expect any friendly dragon to sound like Awkwafina now.
Yeah, but no, like it was emotional. I cried in the end.
Oh.
So
cried, then yeah.
You know, I'm a crier. But no, I liked it. I really liked it. I think Eris liked it too. So that was good.
I thought so too. I like the message behind it too, especially now.
Right.
Yeah.
We were just rewatching it yesterday, or Monica was watching it with the baby. It's still, I still like it. It's pretty cool movie.
Anywho, that's it. I guess we should call that a show. Anything that's on the horizon that we're going to try to watch, child permitting?
I don't know.
We're kind of rewatching The Good Place. Monica has it all the way through, so we're watching it. And then as soon as Pillboy showed up in Loki, I was like, "Yep, there it is." That's how it all ties together.
You know what I want to see more of is Jason from The Good Place. I freaking love Jason. Like,
oh yeah, he's Filipino too, right?
So funny. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Filipino Canadian.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's so endearing. Actually, all of them are, quite frankly. I get excited when I see Chidi and something because he appears more occasionally than any. But I wish I saw Tahani more, and I wish I saw Jason more because they're all like really sweet. Anywho, maybe I'll watch Army of the Dead because I feel like that's within our brand to watch it going forward.
Oh, did I tell you about Johnny Depp not being on the ride anymore?
Nope. Talk about it. On Pirates of the Caribbean?
They changed his face.
Did they?
Yep.
I was like, we just were at Disneyland. I swear it looked like him.
No. So I posted this on my Instagram, and my old boss from Starbucks was there as well. And she messaged me and she was like, "What do you mean he was there?" And I'm like, "No, I said, it's not Johnny Depp. It's, Jack Sparrow, but not Johnny Depp." And so she's like, "Let me check out my videos," because she took a video of the whole thing. And she messaged me back and she was like, "Oh my God, you're right. I just didn't notice because you're excited, right? You're at Disneyland. It's been a while. It's your first time back after a year and a half or whatever." And so she was like, "I wasn't paying attention, but oh my God, it's not him."
It's Johnny Depp with one T.
Yeah, they totally. So the first one,
Jonathan
the first one kind of
Depp.
still looked like him, but they made him. So they put a boat right in front of him. You know where they had the guy where they're dunking him into the well, and how Johnny Depp was like looking back towards them while she was like, "Don't tell them," whatever, right? So he's facing towards you. There's a little boat in front of him, and he looks like he's off, like he's just kind of like this, and it's not his face. I noticed that and I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like Johnny Depp. What's happening? Then when he was in the barrel, remember the barrel? He was sneaking up, he was going like this.
And he looks up.
Definitely not him. His nose everything was different. And Robert was like, "What the hell? Like,
ripped off.
That's not." And then in the end, you know how he's sitting there and it's Johnny Depp, not Johnny Depp. Like his face wasn't even moving.
What about the voice? Is it still Johnny Depp's voice?
It's still his voice.
Okay.
Oh, but it's not his face.
Oh man, do you think that has to do with the whole Amber Heard?
Yes, and that makes me very upset.
Oh man, yeah. If you're a fan of Amber Heard, you're in the wrong show. I'll tell you that right now, because there's some shenanigans there, and maybe they're both assholes, but she's certainly an asshole. And
everyone that he's had relationships with
have
all said the same thing, except for this one person who has had issues with other people. Like she had a girlfriend she had issues with. She randomly dated Elon Musk, and that ended. She just has issues. A friend of mine messaged me, and he was like, "I hope the world learns from this. Even when you're wrongly accused, your career just gets tanked."
Well, that's wax.
When you go to Disneyland, check it out. I was not happy about it. I was like, what's going on here?
They have him to thank for the fact that Pirates of the Caribbean at all is not just some shut down ass ride, because he made that company billions of dollars because he was Jack Sparrow.
I can't see anyone else playing Jack Sparrow.
No.
Can you?
Nope. Absolutely not. It's not James Bond role. Like, this is a Johnny Depp role.
Yeah. So when if you go, Raymond, if you go, and let me tell you, just be careful, because they are not. It's not what they say there. It's not.
Yeah, it's tougher than you think.
If you go, it'll be worse, because it's the 15th next week.
I'm going to Legoland, actually.
Low capacity.
Oh, okay. No, they lie. It's not low capacity. They lied. It's not. It was crowded. Yeah.
It is capacity AF over there.
Yeah. Liars. Anyways.
Well then. Resubbed podcast at gmail.com. That's where you can send us your messages and what have you. Also, you're going to be finding this. We're going to be working on our own Resubbed YouTube channel a little bit more. So you're going to be finding these podcasts in video form, in hilarious video form on there. So you can check us out on podcasts and then, or, audio. And if you want to see our faces, well, then there you go. You can find us on Resubbed. What's our YouTube channel? Is it Resubbed Podcast or is it just Resubbed?
That's a good question.
That is a great question. We'll get back to you.
But
on
if you, I think if you search for resubbed, it pops up.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Also join Michelle and I for our gaming podcast that we record on Sundays. Just Resub about game. We talk about games, baby. We talk about lots of video games. Eric and I are probably gonna be recording a live studio version of the Inside Cradle wrestling podcast for wrestling nerds.
Inside the Inside Cradle.
Inside the Inside Cradle. Anywho. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't watched wrestling in the last couple of weeks. I've been so busy. I feel like, but I'm gonna catch up on there. Anywho,
NXT In Your House is tomorrow, Sunday.
Ooh, mama!
Take
All right,
over.
I love In Your House. Okay.
Yep.
If you like wrestling out there, if you're listening to this voice, if you like this voice, you like Eric's voice.
Wait, I do have a last question though.
Oh, please. Is it about wrestling? No.
Well, I guess it could be, but no. Are you gonna watch F9?
I might. For this show, because I would typically not.
I mean, John Cena's in it.
John Cena's in it, dude. Come on.
Eric says no.
Because I'm way behind on all of the.
Oh, you don't have to be. It doesn't even matter. Like it's so ridiculous that you don't even have to watch all of them. Like legit, it don't matter.
I've been
like, right, Raymond?
Fast and Furious for so long.
It's because it's a ridiculous It's ridiculous, but it's funny and it works. People watch it.
That's why I keep trying to end the show, but I'm not, because you just brought up a point. It's like, you know why I like Fast and Furious versus I feel like the trashy equivalent would be the Transformer movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do stunts in Fast and Furious, like legit stunts. Mm-hmm. They film the stunts, like when they go and they remember I don't know which Fast and Furious it was when they jumped out of the plane with the cars. Some of it was CGI, but like the actual jumping out part, like they do actual stunts. So I was like, oh, I appreciate the fact that they actually do these dangerous stunts and it's super coordinated. But that makes the difference because kind of like the Matrix versus the Matrix Reloaded, you like to see Keanu whoop ass. You want to see him whoop ass. You don't want to see CGI Keanu,
right?
Whoop CGI Agent Smith's ass. That was stupid. Nobody cared about that.
Yeah,
100 Agent Smiths is what we need. You know what we need for the Matrix? More Agent Smith.
More Agent Smiths, because that's what the girls want.
Didn't Loki give you a kind of a Matrix vibe, kind of a little bit, just a little bit? Then I thought Mobius and Morpheus, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Sorry, I just had to ask that question because I wasn't sure.
I want to watch it just so we could talk about it. Because we got to talk about this stuff, dude.
I mean, if I'll watch it, I guess.
John Cena's in it. I mean,
But are we going to see him?
I'm not huge on him either. I did start watching.
I'm not either. I don't really like John Cena, just saying.
The new season of Wipeout, because I wasn't watching it because of him, but he just happens to be hosting it. And I was like, oh, man.
He's hosting Wipeout?
Yeah.
Him and Nicole Byer, I think.
Oh, interesting.
But they're not as good as the two John hosts. But the Wipeouts.
Or what about the original? Like the original.
Who's the original?
Like the old videos of they're from different country. I forget where it is though. It's hilarious.
Like Gemma.
You got to watch it on Hulu.
She's Castle.
Watch those old school ones. Those ones are better than these
Those
ones.
are more violent too. People get
no, for sure. I'm scared. I'm like, are they okay? Like, what the hell?
They didn't give a F on those.
You see their heads
It's like, we need to design a course that will knock a 300-pound man flat on his ass and then send forward a 100-pound woman through there and see what happens.
Yeah, those ones are fun. The older ones, not these ones. I'm talking about the ones. They're on Hulu, actually, if you want to watch them. They're pretty fun.
Man. Dude, we're in an era, Eric, we're in an era where we have 3 wrestlers who are headlining popular things now, and unironically, you got The Rock, you got Batista, and now you got Cena.
Yeah.
And when are they going to do the 3 of them? Oh, did you guys see the picture of Chris Hemsworth and Taika Waititi on the set of Thor?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Did you see the side?
Did you see the size of his arms?
Of
Yes,
his
I
arms?
did. They're ridiculous.
Do you know why they're that big? Because
Why?
in addition to playing Thor, obviously, he's also playing Hulk Hogan in a
Oh,
body. So
that's
he got
right.
jacked, like he got jacked.
No,
for his
I
Hulk
follow
Hogan
him
look.
on Instagram. I've been watching him go to the gym and
Yeah.
like do his thing. I'm just like, what the hell?
And I'll
You're
tell you
so
right now,
huge.
Chris Hemsworth is going to play a much more likable Hulk Hogan than Hulk Hogan is, because Hulk Hogan's kind of trash. And Chris Hemsworth,
Yeah,
you
he
give me
is
some
kinda
Chris
trash.
Hemsworth alternate universe Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I'm all about that.
Multiverse. The multiverse Hulk
Do you
Hogan.
see Sebastian Stan playing freaking? That was really off the wall, like weird.
What was he playing?
Pam Anderson's ex-husband,
Tommy
Rocker.
Lee?
Tommy Lee?
Yes, he
Oh, he
plays
does
Tommy
look
Lee,
like
and he looks
him.
exactly like him, and it's
Oh,
weird. Weird.
He does look like Tommy Lee. That's
Check it out. It's
disturbing.
very odd.
I almost said Tommy Lee Jones. I was like, oh, he played Tommy Lee Jones? That's weird. Oh,
I'm like, when did Tommy Lee Jones date Pamela
I remember
Anderson?
the torrid love affair with Pam Anderson back in the 90s. My God,
No,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
it's weird. It's really weird. Google it. It's weird. But
I don't know if we
anyway.
ever talked about it, but there was like when the Falcon Winter Soldier just debuted, everybody's really high on Sebastian Stan. They're like, he needs to play like Luke Skywalker at some point. Because
Yeah.
he looks like young Mark Hamill, and he's got the range to play
Yeah.
somebody really good. So yeah, my fantasy booking, I would love to see that. Anywho, yeah, that was the show 15 minutes ago. That's the show now. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back, and until then, be safe, be nice to one another, and if you have any observations, or if you have any wild speculation on where you think any of the series that we talked about are going, even the ones already wrapped up, I don't care, send them in. Resubbed podcast. Anywho, round robin. See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
see ya.